applying to John Jay down in New York City, and he got in, and he was a peer mentor, went through the whole program, and he also was the same way, totally opened up after time.
Right.
Right now we have a student who is developmentally delayed, and her IQ is very low. She's pulling all A's.
Wow.
Yeah. She's also autistic, and so she's very regimented. She likes things to be like, okay, I know what I'm doing at this time, at this time, at this time, and I think that actually is helping her quite a bit. We were scared beyond belief when she came here because the first time she was here, she missed her bus, and her mother called campus safety. It was a disaster. Now we thought she's never going to survive without an aide. She doesn't have an aide, and she's doing great. So that's what I am striving for, and I think she's getting stuff out of all of these meetings that we have. So those are a few.
One thing, I was in Pellissippi 2 weeks ago, and I talked to someone who's a partner of their program, who's worked in disability advocacy and all this sort of thing for a long time. And one of the things she said that struck me was that she sees students having a lot of trouble talking about their disability, self-identifying, advocating for themselves in a way. Is that an issue you come across?
Almost always, yeah. Even now, I had a student who now he's been here, this is his second semester, and he was a scholar. When I asked him, okay, so like when you talk to your teachers, how do you describe your disability? He didn't know what his disability was. So we went through all of his paperwork, and I explained things to him, and it was helpful. When they are scholars, I do something like that where there's like a script, and they fill it out. And sometimes they share it, which I think is even more helpful, because then they get to stand up and talk to a bunch of people and say, okay, I have autism and anxiety, and these are how it affects me. But I definitely see there is a problem that starts before here.
Right.
Parents are hand-holding way too much. They're, going to these meetings that they have, and sometimes, like their child is not even understanding what's going on. They don't explain it. I don't think that's good. So I do try my best to, have them talk through it with me so they get more comfortable with it. But I don't see that changing anytime soon. That's always going to be a problem.
Yeah. If you could put more resources into the high schools or even earlier, what would you do? What do you think the students need?
Something like the Scholars Program would be so great. And I think it also goes beyond just the students. We had open house last week, and our Nancy said that she heard a guidance counselor saying, "Oh, I didn't realize students got accommodations after high school." That's ridiculous, are you kidding me that you don't know that? Right. So I think that there needs to just be more education all the way around. I think, students come on campus here and they get the standard tour and stuff like that, but I think that there needs to be more partnership between special educators and especially community colleges. To do another, a program like Scholars to even go younger, I think that would be great. When I lived in Vermont, I worked for their community college, and I taught a class called Introduction to College Studies. So they actually had, it wasn't just students with disabilities, it was anybody. But they had students from 9th grade on come to this class. It was a full semester class where they learned what was going to happen in college, basically. So I did a whole unit on disability services and support services and things like that. So, doing something like that I think would be helpful too.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.